What's going on, guys? Now, if you're new to this channel, you may not know this, but the ones that have been watching this for a while, you know I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure you and me, myself included, can save money on gaming because it's getting pretty expensive out here. And one reason why I love gaming, unfortunately, in the Xbox ecosystem and in the PlayStation one is the ability to game share. And it's a little bit harder on PC, especially if you use something like Steam. But we're going to talk about today how you can do game sharing on a Windows handheld, pretty much any Windows handheld. So as you see right here, I have both of the Xbox Ally and the Ally X, but it doesn't have to be that. As long as it's running Windows, this should work. So unfortunately, if you have a Steam Deck or a device that is utilizing, not Windows, so pretty much Steam OS or whatever they call it, Bazite, whatever the name is, this isn't going to work, but for everyone else, this should. All right, so we're going to jump right into it now. Just so you guys can see and let you know what's going on, I'm going to go into my library real quick. Now, this is my device that I typically use. So here we have a game like Star Wars Outlaws, for example, right there, okay? So we're gonna take that game. I actually thought I had Avatar on here as well. There's a reason why I'm picking these games in particular, but Avatar is not listed up here, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. We're also gonna focus in that I have games like Arc Raider installed on here. And then let's go to, let's just see. Let me get one other game. Okay, let's take Silent Hill 2, all right? So these are games, it shows installed. These are games that I own, I paid for. They don't have the Game Pass logo next to it, so you know it's not Game Pass, you know it's not Steam or come from another store. I own these games, all right? So next we're gonna go on the Xbox Ally real quick, and I'm gonna search for these games so you guys can see. Now this is the one that my wife typically uses. And I'm gonna search for these games so you guys can see that she does not own these games. So like I said, I'm really just doing this so you guys can see that this will in fact work, because on my other videos where I do like how to do game sharing, a lot of people have questions. So, all right, so we have Star Wars Outlaws here. If you can see, it's asking for you to purchase it. So it's saying that it's on sale for $20.99. Let's also look up Silent Hill 2. I'm intentionally doing these because these games are not part of, I guess, PC Game Pass or whatever as well. So we have Silent Hill 2. If you can see, it's also asking for $34.99. So she doesn't own that one either. And then lastly, the other one we're going to look at was Arc Raiders. So Arc Raiders is asking for $40. So these three games she does not own. We are going to get her these three games without spending any money on it. And Xbox totally knows about this. So this isn't something like shady tactics or anything. This is something that Xbox is aware of. Now, keep in mind, this Xbox Ally is my device. I'm the one that owns the games. Okay, it's important to know that I'm the one that owns these games. This device is my wife, or for you guys will be the other person who does not own the games, all right? Now, both of these devices do have their own subscription to Game Pass, but these are not Game Pass games for PC. These are just games that you have to pay for. On my wife's device, who does not own the games, I know I'm like over specifying, but that's because people have a lot of questions. We're gonna go into Windows mode, all right? So we're gonna go into the Windows desktop here. And it's saying, do you want to switch to Windows desktop? And I will go ahead and hit yes. Try to hold this up so you guys can see a little bit better. All right, so we're in Windows desktop mode. All right, so now we're going to minimize this because we don't need that. And we're going to go into the Microsoft Store. All right, get that loaded up here. Now, right now, by default, my wife's account is already loaded in the Windows Store. What we're going to do is we're actually going to sign her out of that. All right, so now no one signed into the Windows Store. What I'm going to do is sign myself in to the Windows Store. So let me log into my Xbox account. All right. So even though I logged into my Microsoft Store account, it's asking for her device's Windows PIN. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. And now I can already see at the top, my account is now effectively logged into her Windows Store. So what we're going to now do is let's go back to the Xbox app. And okay, it's reloading. Now it does say account mismatch at the top. Okay, so let's review it. So it says confirm your account to use for purchase. So we're going to keep using my store account. Let's see what happens if I do my store account. So now when I hit my store account, if you look, Arc Raider switched to a purchase to now it says install. So let's go ahead and actually install Arc Raiders. Now this is the generic not compatible message. We're going to go ahead and just okay that it's compatible. I played Arc Raiders a bunch of times on here, and we're going to go ahead and pick this one. Takes 31 gigs. Let's go ahead and install this game on her C drive. I may have to make more space on this thing, so go ahead and install. And now, all right, so you guys can see that is downloading. So here's our downloads. And here's the thing, you guys can't tell, this is her profile account up here. So this is still her profile. This is my profile. So 2 different accounts here. So doing it this way, you're still going to get your achievements. That is for the right account. You're still going to get your cloud saves for the right account. Like, it doesn't really affect anything. The only thing that this does is it gives you the other person's games, or you can, go back and forth. So my wife doesn't buy any games. I usually buy all the games. Anyway, you're not going to see any of her games pop on mine. That's why I don't even really bother game sharing where her stuff's to mine, but I send everything to hers. And this works on and off the internet. You don't have to have an internet connection once the games are installed. Now, Arc Raiders is totally online, so yeah, you're gonna need internet. But let's do a different game. Let's do something that doesn't require internet. You now see it shows install next to it. And then we have Star Wars Outlaws, and then boom, it's also there showing install. So we're gonna go ahead and hit install on that as well. We're actually gonna put this on her other hard drive because she run out of space here. Here's the one thing, the one caveat I want to see, and we're going to figure this out together, is if I purchase the game through Xbox directly and I still have it connect to Ubisoft, will you guys still be able to play those games? And if this does work and you want me to test other games and other launchers, comment that below in the description and I'll see if we can test like some other ones like Rockstar and EA and whatever else. All right, so it says enabling. Don't know if you guys can see that, but it says enabling right now. All right, so we see it say install now. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit install again. Now it says content failed to load. All right, so let's see in Ubisoft. So let's click on that. Let's see what's going on here. This one's probably saying failed to load content is because it's checking Ubisoft and it's saying the account is wrong. So what we're going to do on the Ubisoft end is let's see if I can sign out and then sign back in with me. So I'm gonna sign out of her account and we're gonna sign in with my account. Now, again, like I was saying earlier, those other games that I installed, because they don't require launchers, those are gonna work totally fine. The Ubisoft one is the one I'm more so curious about. So now it's logging into my Ubisoft account. All right, so there's my profile picture. I'm logged in here. So let's go ahead and minimize that. Let's go back to the Xbox app. Let's try to reopen. Let's see if we can reinstall Outlaw. So it says install. Oops. Install. So we're going to hit it. Failed to load content. So this may confirm that launcher games still don't work. And like I said, Ubisoft games just may not work on here, but we're going to definitely test it out, see if it does or not. I'm going to go back to Star Wars Outlaws. This device just restarted. Let's see. Content failed. So it may still be having an issue, but okay. One other idea. Oh, yep. See, I already see Star Wars Outlaws is right here. So what if I went to download it here? It is now downloading. So account mismatch is now gone. It's now showing her games, or at least my games and her games. If we go to something like Arc Raiders, it does say play. I don't think it finished installing, so I don't know why it says play. And Silent Hill still going. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see if I can launch Arc Raiders real quick. We have Arc Raiders here on this device, on my device. Obviously, like I said, this game is fully playable. Now, what I want to do is to really kind of bring home the point is if I can go ahead and get this game up and running, which it looks like it is. Oh, there it goes. I'm going to invite my wife's system to this, to a party. So let's go ahead and skip. I'm glad she already made an account, so it's less work I have to do. All right, so let me go ahead and invite my wife. There goes my invitation. So we're gonna accept that. We're gonna join. And boom, there we are. We're in the same party with each other. So again, we are now game sharing from device to device. Both devices loaded up here. The game sharing's working. We're playing the game at the exact same time. We're in the same party with each other. So this is all good. So we're going to go ahead and cancel this out, close out these games because we know this is working now. It just said preparing to launch your game. That's a good sign there. The game's actually loaded up. It's working so far. Let's see when it loads up whose profile does it say? Does it say my profile or my wife's profile? Okay, so there's the game. So it says my name at the top. This is my account because I launched it from the Ubisoft app. So let's go ahead and quit to desktop, which kind of makes sense. I kind of figured it was going to do something like that, but all right. So now we're going to go back into the Xbox app. It says the Xbox app and Ubisoft Connect app are currently not connected. Game status may be out of date. All right, so this is kind of what I already thought was going to happen, but for the most part, if a game utilizes a launcher, it's not going to work on your computer, whatever the case is. Having a launcher causes too many issues. We're going to do a restart on this device just to, narrow some things down. Now, ultimately, game sharing across everything else seems to work fine. This is where the only issue seems to be happening at. So, and it still says install. So let me hit install, and it says fail to load data. So that's kind of an indication that games with launchers, so your games like The Witcher, Cyberpunk, Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, games that require those launchers to run, not going to work on here. But like the games that don't, you should be fine. So we're going to go ahead and load up Silent Hill real quick and see how this works. So you can already see it's already starting up there. It did it extremely quick, almost dog near no delay. If I go ahead onto my Ally, again, kind of like we did with Arc Raiders, and boom, there it is. It's launching on there. So again, to kind of bring this point home, as long as the game does not require a launcher, you're good. This is how you can game share on your devices, so that you can share your Game Pass games and any game that you personally purchased. That's a Xbox Play Anywhere type of game. When you start getting into these games, like for example, Avatar and Star Wars Outlaws are not Play Anywhere games. So that's why I wanted to test those games, because not only are they not Play Anywhere games, they also require a launcher. So ultimately that causes a problem here. But I can't try things like Call of Duty, for example, because she has Game Pass, so it was going to load up totally fine. But more likely games like Call of Duty would not work at all. If you guys have any more questions on this game sharing process, like how to do it or anything like that, comment it down below. I'll try to answer whatever questions that you can. I'll also link my other videos if you're more interested in the desktop version of how to do this game sharing on desktop. But ultimately, game share works on both devices as long as you make sure that when you pick a game that you want to game share with, it doesn't need a launcher. Anyway, I hope this video helped you guys. If it gave you any value, helped you out at all, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. That helps me out a whole lot. Thanks so much for sticking around watching this video a little bit longer. I'm gonna see if I can condense this video down as much as I can. But thanks so much for watching. And as always, I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.